Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the BEA 10T300HH analog 300 megahertz transmitter, one button with a clip with case. It's encased. The transmitter is inside of this plastic case, and then of course a clip. This is a 9-volt, battery included. This transmitter is 300 megahertz. It's one of a few different transmitters that they have. Well, different in the sense they're not different. There's one button, there's two button, there's four button. That's how they're different. There's 300 megahertz, then there's 433 megahertz. BEA has a comprehensive offering of both transmitters and then the receiver in each of those megahertz categories. 300 megahertz frequency is an analog radio control device, universally compatible with practically every type of automatic door or releasing application. This is a convenient handheld sort of single button transmitter. Okay. They have transmitters without cases with flag connectors that can go behind their push plates. Imagine an automatic door with a receiver and then a bullard post outside with a push plate. You would have your flag connector transmitter to the cherry switch. The cherry switch, when it's pushed, will activate the transmitter. The receiver up in the controller of the unit, wired to incoming power, then with green and I forget the colors. We'll go over that in a moment. Green and white to the controller to have the transmitter pleasantly ask the receiver, please open the door. The transmitters and the receivers are simply coupled via dip switches. There are 10 dip switches on a transmitter. There's 10 dip switches on a single button transmitter. There's 10 on a receiver. You can have multi-button transmitters. They'll have different rows of dip switches, and then of course you'll have multiple receivers in that sort of environment. Now I will remove the case so we can look at the dip switch. Okay. Your 9-volt battery power up. Okay, it's that simple. You're going to make those dip switches match the dip switch settings on your receiver. That's all there is to this. Nothing really else. Battery fits inside of there quite comfortably. Okay. Then of course it'll just snap back in place. Easy. Now there are several links below this video. Let's start with the template. The template is really nothing other than a dimensional drawing of the receiver. It doesn't actually apply, but that transmitter that you see drawn on the right-hand side is quite similar to this, except that there are no flag connectors naturally. There is then a link below this video to a document called Technical Data, and it's really a cut sheet. It's a product catalog cut sheet. It does show you the part numbers for the receiver, shows you the 1-button, 2-button, 4-button version, the keychain version, single button keychain, shows you the mini with flag connectors, and then shows you the, which is a 12-volt, then shows you the 9-volt wired transmitter. Both of those are going to connect to the back of a push plate, really, as shown on that page. Moving on to the user's guide. The user's guide is really where the installation instructions are. I wish there was more suspense when it comes to BEA transmitters. There just isn't, and that's their hallmark. Simple, straightforward, easy installation. I'm almost tempted to say nothing can go wrong. Finally, there's a link to the product catalog, but not firing that up. Let's go to the link below this video to the manufacturer's page in the website where you can review not only all the BEA products that we sell, a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to that product catalog. Now that is a comprehensive summary of all things BEA hardware related, which will include obviously transmitters and receivers. It will include a variety of push plates, pull plates. It will include magnetic locks, door sensors, a variety of different pieces to help activate automatic control over a door. The name BEA is synonymous with this material, so much so that sometimes their name isn't synonymous at all. Here's what I mean. if you take a look at that product catalog, and if you have more than an occasional need for this material, I would familiarize yourself with it or even bookmark it. You might find that you'll see other names of sensors, receivers out in the wild, out in public, that look an awful lot like BEA, and that's because they're likely the OEM manufacturer for these other folks that they're private labeling the material for. Why do I say this? I say this because if you're looking for product, I would look at the BEA catalog directly, because you're likely going right to the source, which is advantageous for a couple of reasons. Obviously, economics. Second, the BEA customer service department and their technical support department stand alone in terms of superb response. Their ability to ship promptly is like clockwork. They have a phenomenal product line that gets into a lot of different types of industry, and they do a great job supporting it. The support that you need, okay, let me prove that point. I bet you somewhere on here their number is going to be. Their phone number is everywhere. Yep, sure enough. Company contact. BEA cannot be accused of not putting their phone number on stuff. They put it everywhere. They make it very obvious. If you have trouble, you call them. And they know that they've got a great product line and can support it that way. If you have any questions on transmitters or receivers, any of the lines that BEA handles, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd like to earn your consideration. If you have any questions on the BEA 10T300HH, that means handheld. The T means transmitter, the 300 means megahertz, the HH means handheld, or any other BEA product, please feel free to reach out to us.